This may be the hottest sports car ever built, the AC Cobra. With more than 500 horsepower and weighing just 1,000 kilos, it's hard to keep it on the ground. Harry Utesh, a Cobra Shelby aficionado, loves this combination. A car that lightweight, but with a whopping 7 liters engine displacement and a manual gearbox, a very explosive mixture.
Genau diese Mischung macht eben die Sache sehr explosiv.
In 1961, the Texan Cobra Shelby had the idea of mounting a US V8 engine in an English sports car. The result is one of the fastest and most brutal cars ever built. After 7 years and not quite 1,000 built vehicles, the original model was taken off the market. But the legend lives on in the form of replicas, like this Mark VI, which is built in Germany. Harry Utesh is a classic car dealer and loves to drive a Cobra. It's most fun on well-paved and well-maintained winding country roads. But its rough handling is not for everyone. The Cobra requires a very manly driving style. The clutch and steering both require muscle power. Many women feel the car is uncooperative. So it's a car for real he-men. Harry meets up with them at classic car rallies. This is the 6th edition of the original Cobra, which Cobra Shelby first built in 1965. Just 300 of them. The Cobra went out of production relatively quickly, so people who loved it considered how to keep its basic principles going, while improving some aspects. For example, the technology of these shock absorbers today is much more elaborate and more efficient than in the original. But all the characteristic traits have remained. The bumper horns, this shark's mouth grill. The replicas place the engine further to the back. It's now really a front-middle engine. Fairly well hidden is the 7-liter 8-cylinder engine. Some small changes have given it about 540 horsepower, something a trained eye can spot with a look at the exhaust system. A real ball of fire in the guise of a classic. Harry's Cobra leaves plenty of the newest sports cars in the dust. The Cobra is a dedicated accelerator. For example, Harry is doing 60 kilometers an hour in 3rd gear. When he steps on the gas, the car clocks 110 kilometers an hour in the twinkling of an eye. And the engine performs similarly in every gear. For Harry, that's the defining characteristic of a Cobra. Fast, faster Cobra. The Mark VI accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in a minuscule 3.3 seconds. No wonder the rear tires wear down so fast in a Cobra. The Cobra's limits are absolutely honest. If you open the throttle too much, the rear fishtails. But that's something you can play with, something to learn to deal with. Reaching optimal speed in a Cobra is a question of accustoming yourself, of talent, and of engaging with the car. Talent and character are needed to charm the Cobra. If you don't control it with an iron hand, you'll end up scraping along the guardrail. Theoretically, the Cobra tops out at 300 kilometers an hour, but what driver has that much courage? It's not surprising to hear that the Cobra has some features borrowed from the racetrack. Like the original Cobra 427, this replica has a Le Mans fuel tank cap, but it has been changed to fit the times, and modern fuel nozzles. The exhaust system is a less obtrusive underfloor arrangement. The old sports versions generally had side pipes mounted on the left and right of the vehicle. At first, that's impressive, but the noise gets on one's nerves fairly quickly. The interior of the replica is the same as in the original. There are a few electrical switches for windshield wipers, the horn, and other details. Typical are these AC and Smith instruments, which run in opposite directions. The rev counter runs in a counterclockwise direction, the speedometer clockwise vertically. Good replicas cost between 50 and 150,000 euros. Surviving originals can fetch up to $1.5 million. People didn't buy and maintain these cars to go for a leisurely Sunday drive in the country. They wanted these cars in order to use them, and so the individual parts often show extreme wear. If you're buying one, you have to pay close attention to the brakes, axles, engine transmission synchronization. A lot of engine and a minimum of car. That's the mixture that has excited Harry for a quarter of a century now. Harry is proud of his 427 Mark VI AC Cobra. It's the one he finds most drivable, and he's had plenty of other Cobras for comparison. He says he wants to grow old with it, or take it into his grave. And when a veteran dealer in classic cars says that, it means something.